Hey, happy Thursday. I am so glad that you are with us today. I said this on Tuesday, but I'll just say it one more time. On Sunday, for the first time since March, we're going to have on-site services here for up to 30 participants. So we're going to have a kids program for up to 8 kids paired with 2 leaders. You do need to pre-register, and if you are seeing this on Thursday afternoon, you only have a few more hours to pre-register before we close registration for the week. If you are not interested or not ready or not able to be physically on site with us, or if you just can't be one of those 30 people, that is okay. We have digital services and FM services and podcasts, so lots of ways to hang out with us. If that's what you want to do. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up off the top. On Tuesday, we talked about Jesus' golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Or, put more plainly, treat other people the way you want to be treated. That's probably one of Jesus's, let's call it, most famous commands. I mean, if you're within a church circle, we know that one, and we know a whole bunch of his other ones. But if you start talking to people who don't really know a lot about the things that Jesus said or did, they kind of know that one. And they may even know it in the fancy English that we just used. It's just one of those phrases that kind of gets passed along. I mean, people may know it as the golden rule and not even realize that it was Jesus that had said it. It's probably one of Jesus' most famous commands, but I don't think it's his most important command. I think there's a higher command towards how we're supposed to treat one another. Well, the question that I asked you on Tuesday, if you remember, is what happens when you bump into a situation where the golden rule doesn't seem to apply? Like, what happens if you're dealing with a particularly difficult person, a person who doesn't seem like they're going to treat you better if you treat them well, that you demonstrating this is the way I want you to treat me, so I'm treating you with kindness and compassion and respect, and I'm anticipating that you will reciprocate. Or what happens if the way you want to be treated is different than the way somebody else wants to be treated? Maybe you have a different sense of humor. Maybe you have a different sense of how close you are when you talk. Maybe you have a different sense of what's formal and what's informal. Maybe you have a different sense of what you can and can't eat or can and can't drink. How do you navigate those moments when the golden rule seems like it gets fuzzy on us? See, that's where I think Jesus' most important commandment comes into play. This is what I think of as Jesus' primary rule. This is the one where I think he took all of his teaching and he summed it up as simply as he can. He gave this commandment. This is my command. This is my commandment, that you love one another just as I have loved you. Jesus gives this command the night before he is arrested, the night before he is crucified, the night before he ultimately dies. He gives this command. He gives this command to the disciples. He said, when you go out into the world and when you start interacting with other people and you ask yourself, how am I supposed to behave in this scenario? How am I supposed to conduct myself? How am I supposed to treat other people? So don't retreat to the golden rule. Retreat to this rule. How am I supposed to behave with the person who it doesn't seem to matter if I'm nice to them? They're still being mean to me. He said, well, you have to love them the way I loved you. Well, how did Jesus love? Well, he took a group of people who argued, who bickered, who jostled for power, who didn't understand him, who every now and again even challenged him. And he loved them sacrificially. He gave up his life. But before he gave up his life, he gave his time. He gave generously of his time. What about the person who they're just so stuffy. They're just so formal. They insist on being called Mr. or Mrs. They're just, so much starch in their collar. You love them the way Jesus loved them. You don't attempt to treat them the way you want to be treated. You attempt to treat them the way Jesus loved them. You sacrifice some of yourself. That means maybe you put on the starched shirt that you don't want to put on. Maybe in that classic Christmas sense, when somebody gives you that itchy, woolly sweater, you wear it because the person who gave it to you loved you. And you love them. So you sacrifice. You sacrifice the comfortability of your chest and of your armpits and of your back. You love as Jesus loved. What if they have a different sense of humor than you? Will you restrain your sense of humor a bit? Because you love as Jesus loved. The golden rule is great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, most of the time, it probably gets you like 90% of the way there. But there are times when the golden rule really needs to be trumped by this one. That we love as Jesus loved. That's it. That's just your daily reminder to go out into the world and love. It is a stressful time out there for a lot of people. People have lost their jobs. Some people have lost their health. They have lost security. People don't know what's coming down the pipeline in the next few weeks or next few months. If there was ever a time to put just a little bit more love out into the world, it's probably now. That's it for me. I look forward to connecting with you on Sunday, whether you are here in our building or whether we are connecting with you on Digital Church. We'll look forward to connecting with you there. Have a wonderful day. God bless and stay safe.